I'm going to run you through a slightly different method that will allow you to run profitable ads, even if you don't have a lot of money to throw at those ads or for hard to sell products. So first of all, let's look at what do I mean by hard to sell products. Really, we're looking at either high ticket items or recurring fee. Okay. So high ticket is something that I would do is anything $1,000 plus. Usually with high ticket stuff, you're looking at $2,000 plus. Recurring fee obviously is rather than charging somebody, say $100 for a thing, you're then charging them $100 a month for access to that thing. It's much harder to sell because people don't look at this as a $100 purchase. It's not one and done. They're locked into a contract. There's an inherent threat there, an inherent risk. They don't view it as $100. They view it as 600 because they're thinking 6 months or 12 months, 1,200, whatever it might be. But really, it's that being locked into a contract. Lots of stuff that you can do here, cancel anytime policies, all this kind of stuff. Great. But it's still a bigger risk and you'll have a lower conversion rate. So if you don't have hundreds of dollars to put into ads or thousands of dollars to put into ads per day, how can you scale these things? Okay, so let's first look at what a lot of people do, and I'll talk about how they're good, how they're bad, right? So my preferred method is ads direct through to the convert stage. This is the ACA model. If you've not seen any stuff, I build all of my growth strategies around this. It helps you attract daily buyers and then upsell them to high ticket items. So I like to run ads to a low ticket offer, which is anywhere between $1 and $100 with a various sort of typical self-liquidating offer on the front end where you have upsells and bumps to increase the average order value. So at the minute, I am paying around $25 to acquire a customer on ads, and my average order value over here is about $50. So I'm making $25 as I checked this morning for a current ad strategy that I'm running. So I'm making $25 per person, which enables me to run more ads and attract more people. Great. And I have something that's built in there to push a recurring fee product, but story for a different day. That is one of the common ways. Basically, you go straight from the attract mechanism, ads, to the convert mechanism, sales page for a low ticket offer. You cover your costs, self-liquidating, and then at this stage, this is where you can sell your high ticket items over here, right? What happens if you don't have that low ticket stuff on the front end? The first thing I would recommend that you do is go to growthmodels.co/1DPC. That stands for $1 product challenge. And that will teach you how to set up a self-liquidating front end because it is so much easier when you have a list of buyers. It's not necessary to scale, but it makes it so that the payback period is much shorter. I know, like I set up a new ad, yesterday, and I put $30 into that ad yesterday, and it made $120 yesterday. Payback period was less than 24 hours. If I'm selling like a $2,000 program, this isn't going to work because going from here's an ad to here's a $2,000 program, it's too much. So what a lot of people do, and this is still a viable method, is they'll build a sales sequence here, and that could be anything from 5 to 30 emails. What they'll do is they'll have ads to a capture mechanic, often a VSL, and then this will be the sales page for a 2K program. And I worked with somebody once who had a 2K program. They were doing this. They were paying $700 to acquire a customer, getting $2,000 back. So $1,300 profit per customer coming in. But of course, it might take up to 30 days. And it's not like you put in 700 and sit around on your hands and wait. You might have this running at $500 a day. And if you're waiting for payback for 30 days, you've got to cover those 30 days and stay alive for that time period. So it's not ideal for selling those things. So what is an easier way if you have low capital, like not a lot of money to put into your ads? What is a better way to potentially bring more people in, right? So still with this model, and what I would do is still have ads here and remove the capture stage. We're going to put people from ads directly through to a sales page. How are we going to target those ads? These ads are only retargeting, okay? Basically, prior to the ads, we're going to fill the retargeting list, the pixel, whatever it is that is for that whatever ad platform that you're using. We're going to populate that with people who engage with content. So let's say that we are doing YouTube, ads, right? So I would produce a bunch of YouTube content for free. And when you're producing this content, you have to make sure of a few things. You have to make sure that, one, it is specific to your ideal customer persona. That doesn't mean men between the ages of A and B who are in this city. That's bullshit. Unless you're doing something that is specifically for men of that age in that city. Crap. Talking about somebody who has a problem and they have a certain level of capital to spend on the solution to that problem. CMOs at brands who have just closed their seed funding and want to do ABC, and they have this problem and they want to get into this solution. But more specific is what you want to be doing with your ICP. It's about problems and solutions rather than weird demographic data, unless you have an offer that is specific to gender and age. Otherwise, it's about problems and solutions, right? And even then, it's still about problems and solutions. So you want to find a platform where your ICP hangs out. If you're doing B2B stuff, LinkedIn. If you're doing anything, YouTube's always a good option. Facebook ads, and are they on Instagram or are they on Facebook? Are they on TikTok? What's the platform where your ideal customer persona is hanging out and looking for solutions? Okay. Then you want to make sure that the content that you produce is focused on the problem that they have. And then 3 talks about the solution that you offer and the transformation that it can bring. Okay. These things are really important when you're helping somebody who has a specific problem, and you talk about the problem and you say, here's the solution, here's what you can look like after you've implemented the solution that we do, and it's free content on YouTube or whatever. That's great, because make sure that it's very targeted to those people. The algorithm will start showing it to those people who are within your ICP, have that problem, want that solution, want that transformation. And what that does is that then populates the ad platform, as long as you've set up your tracking beforehand, with an audience of people who are your ICP, have that problem, want that solution, desire that transformation. Then what you can do is you can start running retargeting ads to the sales page. So I've done this with my community, Growth Models Plus, and I have a retargeting, and I set up a new campaign around this last week. I set up a retargeting campaign at £3, so less than $5 per day. And already it's brought in people who are paying $100 per month. Because why does this work? Essentially, it's too big of a threat to go from a cold ad to a sales page of somebody that you don't know and sign up for a recurring fee or a high ticket offer. So as we said with that VSL method, you're nurturing them when you're explaining things through that 30-day sales sequence. You can still do that, but what is also a good option is to build that relationship on the front end with free content through YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, wherever it is that your audience goes. They start to know you. Then when they see their ad with your face on it, they're like, oh, I know this person. They do whatever. And once you have built that little bit of relationship, you then retarget them with an ad that says, hey, if people have watched at least 50% of this video, send them this ad. And then they see that ad and they're like, oh, I know this person. Oh, look, they've got this thing. It's like a community or it's a newsletter or whatever. And then what I would do is on that convert stage for the sales page, if you still can't convert people at the full price, do something like a $1 trial. A lot of softwares do this. They do like a 7-day $1 trial. I do a $1 trial. And basically that allows people to check out the thing for the first week for $1, and then it auto ups onto the full price. But this way you can actually, you don't really need to put loads and loads of money into ads, because retargeting ads are much cheaper and they're way more targeted, because you're populating it with people that are more likely to have the problem that you solve. So they should get faster results, because this free content that you're producing over here on whatever platform is specific to the people that you can help. This builds some trust. This then pushes the product, which is less of a threat then because they've seen you organically and they're like, oh, I know this person. And then basically this brings them straight into your convert mechanism. And then here you can upsell them to your high ticket stuff if you want. But by doing this, you make it much easier on yourself, because you don't have to spend money to really find the audience. The organic content can help find the audience, and then the retargeting ads are just paying to get your message in front of the ideal audience at a faster rate. So that's what I'd recommend if you don't have a lot of money, or you're selling these kind of higher threat level offers where it's recurring fee or over $1,000. Yeah, if you don't have the cash, this is a good way. Requires more work because you've got to produce a lot of free content for these people over here. But that then brings them in and helps you then retarget them. And it's just about getting your message in front of the people who have the problem, the solution. The wonderful thing here is that if you're doing this content and it's on something like YouTube, they're actively searching for the problem and solution, so you know that they have it keenly enough. So you can get quite quick conversions with these retargeting. The downsides are you will not hit such a big audience, and it is very much dependent on how successful this front-end free content is. Okay, so if you can't generate good traction with this front-end free content, then it's no good. But what is good levels? It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of watches. If you get like 1,000 views, if that's 1,000 ideal customers actively looking for a solution, and then you can promote your ads to them of your solution, much better. I'd rather have a list of 1,000 people actively looking for the solution that I offer than just sending my message out into the void and hoping that maybe they find it. So this is a much better way. More specific targeting, and you can do this with lower costs. Like I said, I'm running an ad campaign which is less than $5 a day, and it's generating positive returns. And I'll ramp that up in terms of the spend, but effectively it works at low cost. So that's how you can run profitable ads with very little capital and for hard to sell products. It's about building a retargeting list through free content and then targeting the people who engage with that free content that helps them solve the problem through ads. More trust is established already. You already know that those people are specifically looking for a solution. Everybody is a winner. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.